All right, Swastiastu. Hello everyone, how are you today? Now I would like to present my research proposal entitled An Analysis of Students' Communication Strategies Applied Among Hospitality Students at SMKN 1 Temuku. My name is Wayan Piona Gitawati, number of student 2011 17 10 22. Now let's start from the research background. Well, the first one, the demands of the curriculum Merdeka for vocational high school, which is especially for vocational high school in Indonesia, are closely related to the context of applying skills in 21st century. In terms of communication skill, the learning activity is represented through carrying out projects related to communication, such as reading dialogue, presenting role play, holding conversation with transactional expression, and presentation. To implement and improve the skill as the demands are required, the EFO class settings, such as hospitality students, is a suitable place or suitable class for integrating all English skills such as reading, speaking, listening, and writing. And then the demand for oral communication skill for hospitality student is related to the program skill in the FPACE, which is the student at the end of FPACE are required to complete the demand of front office, housekeeping, laundry, and food and beverage skills. One of the essential skills that vocational school graduate must have to competent in the hotel industry is good communication skill to understand guest needs and provide appropriate response to the guest request. Thus, the hospitality students cannot be separated from English, especially oral communication skill in the learning process. Therefore, students' communication skill is important in the learning process, especially in practical and presentation activities. Based on the statement, the researcher conducted preliminary study related the treatment of the use of communication strategies with 10-11 grade students of Perhotelan 1 at SMKN 1 Tembuku on Thursday, 30 November 2030. And the researcher used in-depth interview consists of 7 indicators and 11 questions. The indicators includes discussion process, presentation, question and answer activities, project collaboration, practical activities, and other nonverbal interaction. And the result of the preliminary study show that students apply discussion process, presentation, question and answer activities, project collaboration, practical activities, and other nonverbal interaction in every lesson. It showed that there are a case that occur in hospitality students at SMKN 1 Tembuku related to the objective of this research. Next slide, please. Next slide. Well, various studies focusing on students' communication strategies have revealed various findings, which is the three articles be the references of this research. The first article is the first research conducted by Silpianti et al. 2020 with the entitled Communication Strategies Used by Islamic Boarding School EFL Students in Small Group Discussion. Well, this study revealed 12 communication strategies applied to students, and all of this article, the result of this article, categories into 3 parts, such as type, highest frequency, and factors. The highest frequency from the first research is pillars, and the factors are lack of vocabulary mastery, content difficulties, and awareness. And then the similarity with the second article, which conducted by Saida et al. 2020, also revolve 12 types of communication strategies, and the pillar as the highest frequency. Meanwhile, the factors are delaying time to think, maintaining communication stability, lack of vocabulary, neverness, and grammatical errors. Different results also revealed by Wijayanto and Hatuti 2021, which revealed that message abandonment, topic avoidance, non-linguistic means, appel for help, and pillars Filler are the strategies applied by the students, and the filler also the highest frequency. Although this of study or the research examine the communication strategies applied by the students in EFL classroom settings, only few research investigate communication strategies applied among hospitality students in learning practice. Therefore, researchers conduct research related to an analysis of student hospitality students at SMKN 1 Tembuku. Next slide, please. Based on the statement, the research question of this research are: the first, what are students' communication strategies applied among hospitality students at SMKN 1 Tembuku? And the second one, what are the factors influencing hospitality students in applying the communication strategies? And the research objective and the research significance are built around the research question. The next is research limitation. In practical communication activities, the essential communication used by the student is oral communication. Then the aim of this research will focus on oral communication. The researcher will limit this research to oral communication. Next slide, please. Next slide is the literature review related to this research. The conceptual framework are made based on the theoretical review. As you can see, the first is the theory of communication strategies, which proposed by Perch and Casper, 1980, which states that communication strategy is a tool that can be used by the speaker to overcome communication problem. Then communication goals can be achieved effectively, which means that communication strategy is effective planning and the speaker's efforts in maintaining communication to achieve communication goals clearly. The aim of communication strategies is to overcome the problem faced by the speaker in speaking using the target language. The students' communication strategies is a series of plans prepared by the students to facilitate communication interaction in achieving communication goals, which the researchers conclude that students' communication strategies is a set of plans prepared by the students in the learning process and non-learning process activities which facilitate the students to interact with teachers and other students clearly and effectively. Next is the types of communication strategies, which is at this research. The researcher used the theories from Dornier 1990, which consists of three main types: avoidance, achievement, styling, or time gaining. And all of this consists of 12 types of communication strategies. The first and achievement consists of circumlocution, approximation, all-purpose word unit, use of non-linguistic organizing, code switching, and appeal for help. And the last, styling or time guiding, consists of filler or hesitation device. The next is the observing student communication strategies, which is at this research, the researcher used theory that proposed by Silvianti et al. 2023, which mentioned several indicators related of the use communication strategies that we as the researchers can observe the indicators of the use of communication strategies. And then the title of this research are an analysis of student communication strategies applied among hospitality students at SMKN 1 Tembuku, and the result of student communication strategies applied among hospitality students at SMKN 1 Tembuku. Next slide, please. Here is the empirical review. At this research, the researcher mentioned 6 previous study which focusing on student communication strategies, and most of the research show the case study using the case study design. Next slide, please. And then this one also the empirical review. Before slide before. So even though the previous research focused on the students' communication strategies, in general EFL classroom settings, only a few studies or research use specific major class, especially hospitality student, as the context of this research. Then this research will focus on the students' communication strategies applied among hospitality students at SMKN 1 Tembuku, especially in oral communication in the learning activities in hospitality program. Next slide. The research design. Well, this research, the researcher used case study design, which is consists of several procedures to conduct the case study design. The first one is defining the research question related to the research or the cases, and then the second one determining the research instrument that we can use to find the data, and the third collecting the data from the instrument that the researcher prepare, and then the fourth determining the data analysis technique to analyze the data that already collected, and the last one is preparing the case study report, which include reporting and also concluding the data that the researcher found. Next slide, please. Well, the setting of the research. The place of this research is SMKN 1 Tembuku, which located in Bang Village, Tembuku District, Bangli Regency. SMKN 1 Tembuku consists of 5 major, including hospitality, nurse, and then pharmacy, accounting, and food and beverage. The time of this research will start in February 2025 until April 2025. Next slide, please. The subject and object of the research. Subject of this research are selected purposefully, which is 11 grade students majoring in hospitality at SMKN 1 Tembuku were chosen because based on the result of preliminary study, and the researcher found symptoms experienced by the students in using communication strategies, and they have the criteria which can get the clear and complete data. And then the object of the research, the first one, communication strategies applied among hospitality students, and the second one, the factors influencing hospitality students in applying the communication strategies. Next slide. The data collection procedure. The data collection procedure of this research start from the preliminary, which is consists of 2 steps: content analysis and interview. Content analysis is conducted to determine or analyze the demands of curriculum Merdeka for vocational high school, and then the interview used to observe the seat known of the use communication strategies by the student. And then after that, the data collection is collected through observation using observation checklist and also video recording. And after that, the interview, which use the in-depth interview that can gain more in-depth understanding or in-depth understanding related to the phenomenon found in the observation process. And the last one is data analysis. Next slide. Data verification technique. In determining the credibility, the researchers will use 3 types of triangulation. The first one is theory triangulation, the second method triangulation, the fourth data set triangulation. The third is data set triangulation. Then from these types of triangulation, the researcher will get accurate findings. And then the transferability, which refers to the extent to which the researcher is able to transfer research result into different contexts with different participants. And in this research, the researcher will use member checking. Next slide. The data analysis technique of this research is adapted from Miles and Hamburgan 1994, which consists of 3 stages. The first one is data reduction, that refers to the simplifying, focusing, selecting, and also transforming the data. After that, the researcher will summarize and focus on important data. The second stage is data display, which focus on arrange the data systematically, which can help in a conclusion drawing or draw the conclusion. The data display also will help the researchers to understand what is happening and how the important content of the data is contained effectively. And the last one is conclusion drawing or verifying, which at this stage, the researcher will describe all the unread data and also transfer the data. Next slide, please. Well, everyone, that's all I can explain about my research proposal. Thank you for watching and have a nice day. I close with Padam Santi. Om Santi, Santi, Santi. Bye-bye.